Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Embee Makes Knitting podcast. I have got a lot to show you today, so I think I will dive right in. Everything will be mentioned or linked below in the description box, and feel free to comment if you have a question. So, the first thing I would like to show you is actually what I'm wearing today, and it is my finished sweater number 18 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I started this sweater in March this year, and it was a really lovely knit, but then it got a bit warmer and I wasn't working on it anymore, so over the summer I didn't really knit on this. But when it got a bit colder again in September, I restarted it, as you might have seen in my first podcast episode, and now it's finally finished. It's all washed and blocked. It's really oversized on me. I think I might have knit the size too big, or my gauge is not really correct here, but I do like it. It's really cozy and warm, and that's what I really wanted from this sweater. I think I will make another one in the future with different yarn, maybe merino and mohair paired together, maybe from Knitting for Olive, as is also recommended in the pattern, I think, or a lot of people made it with that yarn combination. But for now I am really happy with this. So yeah. Then a second project I finished since the first real podcast episode are these London fox socks I made with ginger and thyme hand-dyed yarn. I've shown these in my special sock episode from October, but in case you missed it, I finished them and they are really lovely to wear. I've worn them a few times already, and yeah, they're just really soft, really nice. I love the subtle, simple cable, so they're a really nice knit, maybe as a gift. I will definitely make this pattern again. So I haven't shown these in any video at all. They're brand new cast-ons and I finished them. These are the Jagged Little socks by House of Buddleia. I have test knit these for her. They're with merino mylan white from Lana Grossa in 2 colors. And yeah, they're my first colorwork socks, and the pattern was great for that. It was really easy to knit this pattern. You don't have to deal with floats or anything, so that's great for a first colorwork project. This is also my first afterthought heel. So you knit the entire sock as a tube, and then you have to put stitches on a needle and cut the yarn to make a hole and then knit the heel. So it was really scary at first, but it wasn't actually that difficult, and I really loved the result. The fit is great. They are also really nice and thick, so perfect for the colder weather. And yeah, they're just lovely. Really go check out the pattern. It's available now. So go and buy yourself a copy. She's also doing a knit along in December to make a scrappy pair. So with all different colors of jags. And I think I might join. I will have a look in my yarn stash to see if I have some socky scraps that I can use for this. And And it comes also with a shorter sock version to knit. So maybe I will do that. But I really love these. Then my last finished object is also something new. I have cast on maybe 2 weeks ago and I finished them in a week. And it's these cute mittens. I really wanted to knit myself some mittens. These are the Imoto mittens. And I've used yarn by Ginger and Thyme, the Gabo Wool Fog in this beautiful green. Yeah, I really wanted to try and knit some mittens because I thought if I can knit socks, I can knit mittens. It's also small circumference. And the only tricky part I think about this is the thumb. But it wasn't that bad at all. They're a really quick knit. I've only used one skein of the yarn. I have another one left. So I bought 2 skeins, but I only needed one to make a pair. So I will definitely make something else with this. I'm thinking about maybe doing a headband that matches a bit with the stitch pattern, or a hat. So we'll see about that. But yeah, really love the pattern. And it makes a great gift as well, I think. So yeah, with Christmas coming in a few weeks, yeah, it's a great gift knit as well. Okay, I think that's all my finished objects. I also have a half finished object, and that's this Sunday sock. These were in the last episode about all the socks I'm making this year. I've knit the pattern as my first sock pattern in January of this year, and I wanted to make it again because my first socks, they were a bit too big. So I've gone down a needle size. I've knit these on 3mm needles. And the fit of this one is perfect, just spot on, nice and snuggly. So I'm doing the second sock. My tip to avoid never knitting a second sock is to just cast on the second one as soon as you finished the first. So that's what I've done. Done a bit of the cuff. But it's on 3mm needles. I'm using Drops Merino Extra Fine. It's really, it looks small, but it's really stretchy. So it fits around my foot, no problem. So yeah, that's a half finished object. And I think these will be done by the end of the month. Then something you might have seen already from the beginning is the Take Your Time slipover. This is a gift I'm knitting for my grandmother. She chose the yarn herself. It's actually a gift from last Christmas. I said to her that I would knit her something. I was thinking about a shawl, but she really loved a slipover with a V-neck. So at first I thought I would just try make it myself without a pattern, but that didn't really work out. My gauge was all wrong, it had holes, and I wasn't really sure about sizing and all. So then I frogged it all, and in, I think maybe last month, I started again, but I knit with a pattern this time, and so it's the Take Your Time slipover by Caidree. And the pattern is really great. It's not that difficult. Yeah, I really love how it's turning out. I'm knitting this with yarn from Zeeman. She chose it herself, she really wanted this yarn. It's got a bit of wool in it, but it's mostly acrylic. But it's really nice and chunky. And yes, it's purple because that's her favorite color. I'm thinking I might knit her something smaller for Christmas this year, but more on that later. So yeah, it was her birthday last week, so I promised her it would be finished by the end of this month, so she can wear it this winter. Then next whip is, in my first podcast I talked about all my knitting plans, and I made some swatches for some plans I had with yarn I had in stash. And I had this Drops Air in this really pretty raspberry color. And I knew I wanted to make the chunky Dahlia with this yarn. Because yeah, it's really pretty color for that, I think. And I've tried knitting this pattern before, but with Drop Swish, but it was too thick and I messed up a bit of the pattern chart for the holes and everything. So now I've started again with this yarn, and this is how far I've gotten. So you can really see the leaves taking shape. It's really light and fluffy and soft, so I'm really loving it. Need to put this on a bit of a bigger needle. So yeah, I'm hoping to have this finished by the end of the year. But once you put some time in it, it's going by really fast. It's just the first part of the yoke with all the lace work, but for the rest it's just stockinette. So I think that will go by pretty fast. Yeah. Then another whip. I've got a lot of whips this time. This is also a gift knit. I've made my mom this year a school run hat by Penrose Knits with a hand-dyed yarn by Lang Yarns from a local yarn shop. And now I wanted to make her, because I had another skein left, I wanted to make her a little scarf. And she saw my Sophie scarf that I made for myself. And she said she would like something like that. So I've cast it on. It's only just a start. It's really pretty blue and beige. So this will match her hat perfectly. And yeah, it's quite a quick knit, so I will have this finished for Christmas for her. And then not my last. I have another sock on my needles. I've just started this one 2 days ago. We just got back from a little trip to the Netherlands this weekend. And I've cast on a new sock, so I can knit on it in the car. It's a really pretty, just vanilla sock. Cast on 56 stitches. Did double ribbing in the melon weight beige color. And then I used this yarn from Scheepjes. Scheepjes Downtown is this. So it's a self-striping yarn. And now I'm just knitting a simple tube. Then I will do the toe in the contrast color again, like a cuff. And then I will add an afterthought heel, like in the pattern from the Jagged Little socks, now that I know how to do that. I think the fit is really great on my foot. and then I can just place it in between 2 stripes, so that's perfect. And then I need to make the second sock also, but I have enough of one skein to make 2 socks for myself, because I have tiny feet. So that's nice. And the last whip I have is another sock. I've started this a bit later in October. It was almost already the end of October. But when I saw this, I knew I wanted to make one this fall. It's the Into the Wild socks. This is what I have. I saw this on Instagram. It was a knit along in October, where every few days there was a bit of the pattern that was released. But I've only just started it at the end of October. But yeah, you can still knit it. It's also a pattern out on Ravelry. And when I saw these cute foxes, I knew I wanted to try it. After making my first colorwork socks, I wanted to try something a bit more challenging, but mostly because I thought they were just so cute. And I had some yarns from Vilcolana. This is Vilcolana Arvetta, and it's just perfect yarn for knitting socks in colorwork. These will take me a bit longer, because the colorwork takes some time. I'm not so fast at it yet. So yeah, I hope I also finish these by the end of the year, so that I can wear them this winter and next fall. So yeah, I think that's all my whips. I just have 2 more things to talk about, and that's some yarn I got yesterday in the Netherlands. I treated myself to a little souvenir. I got some Lanyarns sock yarn in purple. As you can see, it matches the slipover quite well. So I'm thinking I will make my grandmother some socks with this. They might not be finished for Christmas, but at least she will get them this winter, I think. Because she talked about how, she really loves the look of my socks, and she would like some for herself as well, because she has really cold feet all the time. So that's what I will make with this. And then one other thing I want to cast on this year is the Sophie shawl. It's really popular at the moment. Everyone is knitting it, I think, or almost everyone. But a lot of podcasts I watch are knitting it as well. And it's a really lovely shawl. I've never knit really a shawl before, so I wanted to try it. And as I've knit a Sophie scarf, I think the shawl will be nice as well. So I will be using this Drops Air in this lovely grey color. This will go really nicely with a lot of my coats that I have. So yeah, it's a really neutral color that I think I will be wearing for many years to come. So yeah, that's one plan, and I think I will leave it there for now. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. I hope you like this episode. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. And follow me on Instagram if you want to be updated on a more weekly basis on what I'm knitting on, because I do post there quite often. So yeah, have a nice day, and I hope I will see you soon. Bye!